Opening the volume mixer. Opening volume mixer. I just turn down Collete.
Oh, okay.
Should I do normal or classic?
Well, let's see. Classic mode basically just makes it so you can't continue if you get game over.
That's the only difference? We'll do normal, just in case I die and I want to keep showing off the game.
It's fair. Let's see, okay.
Milkshake.
Let's see, the video isn't going very well for me. I may try getting out of voice chat for now and see if that helps.
Sure.
Maybe back in a minute. Let's see. Yes.
This kid stole my candy. Oh, I can steal it back. Whoa, momentum. Get in that house. Milkshake. So good. Oh, neat. Give me that candy, you dumb kid. Oh, I missed it, you dumb kid. See, I can call him dumb because I'm also a kid, so it's just kind of like a little kiddie banter. Oh, only the thieves steal. Okay.
Well, oh, yep. So I'm back in the. Yeah.
Cool. Three, two, one, let's go. Oh! That's serious. Ooh, one-way platforms. Ah.
Oh, yep.
Oh, they come back!
My audio and my video. Oh, yep.
Are they what?
Audio and my video aren't in sync, so I'm not seeing what you're doing as you're doing it.
Oh, yeah. Classic. I could, yeah, I don't know what I can do. Just let me know how, I'll tell you when I beat the level. And you
That's okay.
Okay. Oh, what? I'm not paying attention. Oh, no! attention. Whew. Oh no! Okay, so you're like that far behind. Okay.
Here, I wonder if I can change the video quality.
Oh, I'm running out of time! Make the jump, Collette! I didn't know the time didn't reset. Well, it doesn't matter anymore.
Well, let's see. Let me see if I can figure it out.
Oh, shoes.
Oh, sorry, I'm trying to figure out what you're struggling with, but the video is so choppy. I'm having a. You need a little space.
No!
To be able to make the jump. There you go.
Yeah, I'm already on the next level.
Let's see.
Fall in the hole. Aha! Oh, he doesn't die. Oh, what are you gonna do now? Fall in the hole. Haha, you turned back because you were too fast. Get out of my house. Receiving transmission, that's all. So I lost 61 candies. That's very important to me. I played a game called Candy Box, so I know the value of candy. Ooh. That was all the first Blippo? Alright. What's my special ability? Is this... Oh shoot! I need to figure out how to do that. That's a strange button to put for your action. You stinking kids. I'm just gonna hold my claw out. I want that candy. Can I claw those guys? I'll claw them. It's a thief! He's a thief! He's stealing the candy monsters! Oh, you're mine. Oh, shh. I thought it would bounce off of me. He kind of just passed right through me. Quit stealing the candy monsters. Nope. I thought I would actually grab the front edge of that. That's interesting. This claw looked big enough, but it wasn't. There we go. Give me those candies, you loser. Nice. These are harmless little cans. Shoot, he's doing that thing again. Gotcha. You want to steal more from me so I can just take them from you? Stop it. I made it else. Faster than you did. Whoa, what was that? A giant crab? Oh, you just tell me it's safe. Cool. Thanks for using design to talk to me. What are the? What's that? What's? Can't tell what those are. that was the closest. Unnecessary jump. You get a lot more momentum change when you jump off a hook than when you're running. Why are you running? A nice arrow there when you go off the top of the screen. I appreciate it. What is that? Woo. Let's go! Dun 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 dun. Why are we crushing all these houses? Cool.
Hey, Richard.
Hey, what's up, Fernando Z?
Hey, oh, hold on a second. Woo! What's so cool?
I'm streaming Akamarak's game.
Ah, I just saw he was there. Where did he go?
His internet's having problems, so he's watching the stream. I said he could type to me on the Discord if he had cool stuff to say, but otherwise I'm just talking to myself, I guess. It's kind of unfortunate. We can always try again, Akamarak, if you want to just, I can save some levels for when you... Oh, I lost all those candy potential. You got any cool news?
Me?
Yeah, or are you just dropping in?
Oh yeah, I did have something to tell you.
Cool.
I'm about to implement a suggestion you gave me
Yeah.
like a year ago. I don't know how long it was, but it was like a long time ago. You said, wouldn't it be cool if? And now I'm gonna do it.
Oh, should I guess?
Try to guess.
A year ago, you didn't have XYZ features, so what could that have been? Yeah, I mean, I know you've done all these controls and different things, and then I've heard about some of your new things, so like, can't be any of that. It must have been something in the days where we had all these different abilities, and I was like, the close-up camera thing?
What was that? Like, oh, the camera of the other person? Shit. I think you said something like that. What are you referring to?
When things are too small on the screen, you have like a little cutaway in the corner of a close-up view so they can like see things that are hard to see.
Yeah, I'm doing something similar to that. It's not quite, because drawing things drawing the camera twice would be expensive. What I'm doing is there's a little hologram of the ship you have targeted that you can see, so you can see if they're facing left, they're going right, they're rolling.
Yeah,
so it is similar to that.
Yeah.
I haven't implemented that, but that is on my pretty high on my list. But there's another. So I forgot you have suggested that, but I am implementing that. But there's another idea you suggested that I thought was pretty cool, but I didn't do it at the time. Is you were saying like while you're drifting, when you drift, you don't show up on the radar.
Yeah.
But when you drift, you keep moving in just one direction. Do you remember what you suggested?
I said like there was some kind of trade-offs I wanted to like do. So if you drift, you're off the radar, and you can keep moving. And then in order to slightly adjust your aim, you shoot, and it propels you. Was that the
you basically no. I think what you suggested was you want to be able to at least move a little bit while drifting, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm working on right now is analog thrust, and that allows you to input a little bit of thrust. As long as the amount of thrust you input is below a certain threshold, you can move. So you can move around with little puffs.
Yeah, just tiny.
Exactly. So that's based on your. So I'm adding that.
Cool.
Let me look at your stream.
I'm just trying to recreate as many scenarios from Cowboy Bebop as I can in your game. There was a time when Spike had like no fuel and he was like using tiny puffs of air to slightly change his ship direction. Yeah.
That's basically the thing. And I'm adding animated thrusters, so you'll be able to see the thrusters, and I'll have them look different depending on the output level. So small ones could just be little puffs, bigger ones could be flames, and boosted ones could be a different color. And it's also good if you're like overheating. It's nice because it's a single mechanic, but it has many repercussions and many cool uses without really introducing any new inputs. Because before, since it was mainly keyboard and mouse, there was no way to do analog with your keys.
Oh, yeah.
But now I'm been working on joystick and dual joystick and gamepad and all that. I said, well, they have analog. And for the keyboard players, you can use the mouse wheel to lower your thrust if you want.
Interesting.
It's not as good or as easy, but it is an option if you want it.
I thought you were gonna do like if they tap on and off the directional keys fast enough, it's just automatically not enough thrust.
That will work too. That will also work. So you can just tap it. But if you wanted to make it easier, because you want to just lower your thrust, and then you can tap twice as slow, and it'll get the same result. But yeah, both will work once I add that. You can tap, or you can use the mouse wheel. I mainly added the mouse wheel thing for testing the analog features. I think most people, you're better off just tapping rather than scrolling your mouse wheel down, but it is there. Oh, let me look at the stream. I want to see his game.
That person just died. Oh, you get your flight back every bump.
Design oriented, or is it your own?
Yeah,
stream?
design oriented.
Okay. Oh yeah, I checked out his website before. So I saw some footage of this game. So you bounce on those bubbles. Do you also have some sort of? Do you have? She's on a broom. Can she jump?
Yeah, she gets a double jump, unlike all the other characters, I guess. So I can get high things. Woo! If that person jumped, I would have been killed.
So those other humans jumping around, those are hazards?
Other trick-or-treaters, they don't hurt you, but they can mess up the environment.
Ah, I see.
And they can take your candy if they're mean. Ooh, that was close. Cool.
Mute the stream. It looks like a fun game.
Yeah, it's actually pretty solid with the platforming I'm doing. Ooh, Crazy Town.
Hey, this may work.
Hey, he's back.
Hey, Akamarak.
Hey,
Hey, you pronounce it like a more Japanese pronunciation than Akamarak.
I just pronounced it like it's Spanish.
Yeah, Akamarak is closer than what I was doing. Ouch!
Akamarak, your microphone's
Bleeding.
one sec. Oh yeah, one sec.
My ears are bleeding.
needs to put it on push to talk.
Oh no! I didn't want to free the thieves! That's a really good rare game, by the way. Free the Thieves.
Never heard of it.
I just made it up.
Okay. So those little critters that are in the bubbles and you're bringing them and they're running around. What did they do? It looks like walking candies.
Yeah, they can be snatched by jumping on them. They're pretty harmless.
You can pick up those walking candies as well?
Yeah. Get back here, thief! Dang.
So you have to jump on their head and then you get the candy.
And then if the thief steals candy, I gotta jump on his head or its head to get the candy.
Kind of like a Golden Axe.
Never played it.
In Golden Axe, there's a little guy that would run around and steal your potion. You never played Golden Axe?
No.
Surprised.
It's part of the rare?
Did you not have a Sega Genesis?
I got a Genesis later with more of the Sonic 3. I never really owned Sonic 2, so it was only when like Sonic. Oh shoot.
Oh. So that's the candy thief, huh?
No, this is just a Ooga Booga that comes in every few levels.
Looks like Slender Man. Orange. Oh! Can he kill you or he just slow you down?
He steals my candy, which is worse. Nice long passageway to try to get the Ooga Booga to get me. You can jump on its head to slow it down.
This is like a non-violent platformer.
Yeah. Except for the Ooga Booga.
Well, he only takes your candy, doesn't kill you.
Yeah, but it's pretty violent. It's unnecessary force.
It's theft.
It's good that he made the double jump slightly slower horizontally than Oh! Ha, that was so new Super Mario Brothers right there, just having the bottom person.
Ew. Whoa, 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 whoa! Oh! Dead.
Dunk this girl. She just got dunked.
Oh, that's in that way it's violent.
Yeah. Dunked into a fiery abyss? Sure. Oh, just turned to face my enemy right at the end. Like, no.
Receiving transmission?
Yeah, TV. Somebody's watching us on TV, I think. Or something. Every level has a little cutscene like that.
It's cute.
Cool.
How many levels in the game?
I just did 2 little worlds. So every time I go into a new world, they tell me the costume I'm gonna get and what buttons to press. So I have a hose and things are flaming.
Oh, so you get new costumes with different abilities?
Yeah.
You're not always the witch?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a clever idea. Oh, that's so cool.
I'm burning!
Overworld.
Okay.
Woo! Woo!
I thought a little water would put it out, but no, it's more than a little. Oh, the flames are different sizes.
Oh, I gotta go eat my lunch.
Alright.
The game looks really good.
It's fun.
Yep. Talk to you guys later.
Later. I like the nice short levels. Get out of my way, kids. Burn, kids. Oh, I bet the kids can set me on fire. Don't do that, kids. Kids, anybody want to help? No, kids. I'm running out of time. Come on. Oh, no, I'm on fire! No! Alright, greedy. Shh, I'm on fire! Yeah, I like how you made the double jump and the hose slower than running. 'Cause you just don't want to, you want some trade-offs. Because a vanilla character would just be so vanilla if everyone else could run just as fast doing their cool stuff. Maybe I didn't even see the ability of the base character.
Okay, let's see. Maybe I won't break everything this time.
Come here, little thief boy. Their animations remind me of the Bart Simpson Game Boy game.
I haven't played it.
Camp something? Gotcha. Oh, those are flame monsters. Why, boy? Oh, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No! Oh, I guess you can fall as many times as you want. It's only when the time runs out you lose a life?
Yep.
Pretty interesting. Oh. I'm taking all these kids with me. And if all the special abilities slow you down, you're not getting away. Jump, jump, boy.
Well, you could originally run just as fast while you're using the hose, but then it...
You ran into your own water? Gotcha, boy. Ah. Okay. Oh, that kid just died. By died, I mean hugged the spike forever.
I'm sure the kid's fine.
Just a little stunned.
My wife always says that that kids are dying left and right, and I try to assure her, no, I'm sure they're all fine. They're all fine.
Oh, I'm burning. I'm burning. I almost died on the spike. I like how the water pretty much just goes at my feet unless I jump. So jump I will. Why did I cut back to kill myself? That was close. Kids hang out right there. Oh, those like freaking. No! Okay. Just saying. Oh, it's a race. That was close. I want to keep them all on my side. I did not get off the edge very gracefully. Run, little fighter wannabe. Okay, those edges are a lot stickier. Like, I have so much momentum when I try to turn around, and yet I can't slide off an edge very easily. Yeah, like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Or maybe it's better not to fall off edges. You thief and griefer! Huh! Huh! Get back here, thief and griefer. Gotcha. And I'm home. And by home I mean something I'm about to destroy. Destroy it! With armadilli. Armadillo. Oh, we got the wrapped world. I think, do all the worlds follow the same pattern? 2 flats, 1 wrap, and then 1 ooga booga? That's close. That's close. Oh! That's neat. Wrap, fire dashing when it's wrapped sides. That's neat. Booga booga! Nice. And that was a vertical level too. I mean, that's how you have wrapped sides and the. Oh! Rude. Now for the unga bunga. Unga bunga! Oh! Nice. Nice. I like that. Unga, oh, 2 ungas! Shoes. Shoes. Woo! Unga bunga time. Calm down, ungas. I have a weapon against the Ungas. Check this out, this backwards... Oh, does it accelerate me when I shoot? Is that why I can't go faster forward? You guys are dead, Ungas. Look at this. You guys are dead. Oh, fire! No! I should have not panicked. You guys are dead. Ooh, that Unga almost got me. What are they called? Oh shoot! They don't care about water directly in their faces. Oh, they're on fire! I gotta get out of here. This is so like me Gunner from Smash Brothers. I love this! Okay, old-fashioned Unga time. Let's go! Oh shoot! I almost overshot the house. That was my favorite level. Yeah, I lost 79 candies for it being my favorite. Jeez. Back to normies? But why? Yeah, she has no special power. Yep. That's what I get for not being special. I need to stop wasting time. I guess now it's... Okay, I said stop wasting time. I guess now I can't, talk and... Man. Now that I can't put out the fires, this is a little more treacherous. Very quick level. Oh, shoes! Those guys are free. Oh, I fell! What are those? I should stop wasting time. We are killing the kids. Killing the kids. Oh, now they're on fire. They're faster. That's what fire does to everybody. Give me that money. It's candy. I love it how generous that is. Nice generous hitbox. What am I doing? Okay. Why? I hate how I can't get enough momentum to do a simple jump. I need to keep track of how fast it takes me to get to this huge running speed. Thank you, little boy. I need to be careful. I can't hook onto that. Tank this time. Good. Is that a secret passage? Let me investigate. Oh, shoot. Never mind. Ooh, that was close. Ooh, everything's here. And I have no powers. Oh, I meant to hold the button. Oh, I barely made that jump. Oh, I did it again. Yeah, it's hard to judge your arc when you jump off the top of the screen. I should be more careful. Like that. Give me the house. It's made out of metal. Can't destroy it. Unless... whatever that was. I made a mech? An exosuit? Sweet! What's my power? Everything? No, no. Yes, everything! Yes! It's on now. It's on now. Check this out. Ooh! Yeah. X? What does that do? Just reminded me. Hup. Hup. Here we go. I need to get some momentum first. I guess you can't preserve momentum on the I'll help you out, little boy. You stupid little boy. I was trying to steal your candies. Guess you can. Okay. Running low on time. Oh, you guys got it. Oh, what the? Oh, I'm hooked. I hooked myself. That was fun. Just need to find the right open space to do what I do. Not sure what happened story-wise. I know we did something to the metal, but is that still me? Oh, I couldn't even see that green brick, but now I can see it due to the color and the parallax. Yep. I swear I jumped on top of the red thing. What happened? Oh, it looks like you can preserve momentum if you... Oh! Use an advanced technique to kill myself. Off his head, please. No, you stupid little boy. No! Thank you, little boy. Okay. 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 Can I give them all names? Oh, that was close. Ah! Fire prevents me from doing my fun dashes. Oh, I almost did it again. That's some powerful Gujo there. Nice, simple scroll there. Oh shoot, I'm not paying attention. That little boy. I want those candies. I keep forgetting I can double, triple. What was that crazy maneuver? I need to learn that. Oh yeah, it's sideways flight. I can't sideways flight unless like my head's hitting. Didn't even see those spikes. How do I sideways flight? I have to be like touching something on my head? Maybe it looks at how much space I have. Stop stealing my bubbles. Okay, no need for clawing there. These kids are just trying to survive out here. Ooh! Almost did something crazy. Good job, kid. Good job. The good job province. I want to get you. Advanced technique. No! Oh, cool! He's gone, but hey, I survived. That was like a pixel perfect claw. Get out of here, firefighting. I'm the only firefighter. You're dead. Oh, I put it all out. Yes. Nice, generous water. Oh, thank you. Claw again. if I lost all my lives, would I start the whole game over or just the world? Just like the set of levels. We're going fast. Whoa, okay. It's so dangerous doing that, but I don't care. Oh boy, I'm stealing them this time. You can have the rest of the trash traps I lay for you. Nice smoothing over physics right there with the edge of that. Oh my gosh. You can't catch this. He's coming. Oh shoot. I'm in trouble. How do I play this game? I forgot all the buttons. I need that. Hey, candy. Oh! What are you doing? What are they doing? They're taking the candy somewhere. This is it. I'm gonna outrace them. That was sweet. Get back. I said get back! Oh! That was the hugest jump ever! It's a king or a queen. Or it's someone who stole the crown. Oh, my finger's hurting. I'm gripping it so hard. I'm panicking. I'm panicking. Do I need to jump on its head? Okay. I need to pay attention is what I need to do. No! 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 I thought that was a platform that was still there. That was weird. It was dark. Give me that candy back, you fricks. Oh! I hit jump! I'm in trouble. Oh, my claw button was depressed, but it wasn't out. I need to pay attention! Punta Province? I don't even know what that means. That was a death jump right there. Okay, I need to play normal. Nah! Oh shoot, did we go down? Neat! I forgot I had the double jump! Okay, he's stealing my stuff! Nice. I made it into his secret stash. I'm gonna go up and bother him. What's up? What's up? Okay, I'm done. Achievement. Made it out alive. Nice. Now I know your names. Wisp voice acting, I like that. Creative Commons music. Attribution license 3.0. Get attributed. So I guess I didn't need the normal mode because I didn't go down to 0 lives. You tell me. My hand kind of hurts because I was doing some serious claw gripping in the stress. Ouch. I mean, none of the game was about combating those things, but for some reason when I saw that king, I'm like, I need to combat this thing. Nah. Nah, I didn't. Milkshake. Mmm. Mmm. Silver bag? Why isn't it gold? Where did I lose the most candies? Did I just not kill enough kids? Unacceptable. actual leaderboards. Look at you guys. I'm the best non-developer. That's funny. I'm assuming that's a dinosaur. I think we already talked about that. What's trial mode? Oh, cool. Cool. Well, that's it for the stream. Unless you got any questions, Akamark, you want to talk about while the stream's still going.
Let's see. Oh, the stream anymore, which is why I can be on voice chat, but
you know what's up.
I'm curious about through the whole game, has enjoyed it, but a lot of people have not stuck through with it to the end. I'm curious if there's a better way I could go about setting people's expectations for the game.
Yeah, the world map, as soon as I beat the world 1, I'm like, oh, it's a short game and I can do this in one sitting. That's what I thought to myself, so I just did it in one sitting. Did other people die and then stop going forward? Did they, like, game over, basically?
Let's see. There were... Part of the problem is sort of rushing to get it out in time for Halloween. It's nearly enough playtesters, and so afterwards I just had to rely on a few YouTubers, and we had a hard time just getting people to... I saw it seems like there were at least a couple of people who... One person kept wanting it to... I think they just wanted it to be a different kind of game, which maybe can't do a lot about that. They kept wanting the game to reward them in some way.
By shipping them cash.
Yeah. I'm not sure what they wanted. They said if it didn't give them some kind of reward or something by the next couple levels, they were going to stop, and then they did. I think the problem is it was YouTubers who had a lot of different games to try out.
Interesting.
Also, we didn't do an amazing job advertising, so we may just not have had enough people try it.
I was trying to... Well, it's kind of like an auto runner. Some aspects of it reminded me of some of Shantae style platforming. Thin little platforms. And
yeah.
some of DS's platformers it reminded me of too, because there was a lot of stuff on the screen, not a lot of like headspace, airspace to jump around in. It was most of the screens always filled with either platforms or you were so raised up from the ground that you just were jumping off the top of the screen a lot. So that reminded me of other style platformers and platformers that don't have a lot of screen real estate. Default girl to witch to pirate to witch to firefighter back to default.
Firefighter.
That was cool.
Yep.
When you're like, I have nothing, and then you get everything. You're like,
Good. That was the goal. I had things in the level when you're Collete, with just the default girl, reminding you of what you don't have.
Yep. I was like, well, this fire is annoying now. It's in my face. Cool. Let me think. I felt like, as in some levels, I felt like the game only had like a few things it was doing with its levels, and then on the other hand, I felt like every level was different. Some were very short, some were much longer. Obviously the theme helps with fire and having more things to hook, and then a mixture of things that like hook and falling platforms and fall platforms that hook, and even though it was all basically like the same kind of jump, almost all the jumps were like jumping up onto, across a gap, or slightly changing your timing to jump on a guy like running in their same direction. But yeah, it was all the levels that went left to right and then down to up. And there was a few moments when you went right to left. I'm like, yeah. Even though there wasn't a lot of level elements being used, it still felt like each level was doing different things. And besides the level theme, I felt like the levels, there weren't a lot of distinct gameplay ideas from the level design. Because most of the arrangement of things were like, hey, different kinds of platforms, but your still ultimate goal is basically holding forward and nailing these jumps. So, the platforms were all different with the falling platforms, the bubbles. What else was there? I guess just solid platforms. And then the ropes or whatever. So they all function different, but timing-wise and things like that, they were about the same. Yeah, that's
in that game. What would be a good way of mixing that up, do you think?
So it kind of depends on the scope. The initial levels, I'm like, oh, it's like an auto runner. So kind of like Cannonball and stuff, I just expected more or less all the levels to have that strong forward momentum and flow, and then just to do some other things with reach for some other goals with my jumping with the candy. Ouch! Fernando's back.
Yep. I heard you saying something about momentum and flow.
Yeah, just a lot of the game's levels, you're moving forward heavily, so you don't stop and linger on anything. I call sections like that in Mario, I call them playgrounds. And my favorite example of it is, World 1-1 has some, especially when you get to that area with the 4 question blocks that are suspended, and you have to like jump on them individually, then jump up and then down and around. There's enemies. Like that area sets you up to stop and play around just in that area.
Right.
World 1-2 with the classic like fork-looking floating brick formation, and then the coins that are on top. That area encourages you to stop and slow down and play around. But more specifically, there's some levels in Super Mario Bros. 3 that there's like a Koopa on top of a brick formation. Like if you kick the Koopa, it'll bounce and 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 go down. And then there's multiple secrets in there. Like that's a freaking playground. So there's nothing in your game like that, basically. So
that's true. It basically just keeps you moving forward for the whole game. Yeah.
It felt more like a little bit like a race.
So
yeah.
So kind of thinking in an auto runner and thinking like, oh, like Cannonball and stuff, like it actually had a lot of things going on. But if you wanted to expand the variety, you'd have to introduce new ideas that introduce completely different gameplay objectives. Like if you want to make a playground for the firefighter, for example, you would have to get to an area, and then like let's say there's like a platform on your top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right, and like random things are just catching fire, and you're just trying to keep all the fires from getting too hot. So you're like jumping, shoot, jumping, fall, shoot. Like that's just a completely different kind of challenge. Like the maintain and manage type of challenge, and aiming with your water. You didn't really have to aim. So maybe there's another challenge you can make it to where there's some things you want to wet and some things you don't want to wet. So you're like, be careful with this water now. You're like, oh, okay. Which those kind of challenges work so much better when you're not just constantly moving forward. So like, yeah, just thinking of ideas like that, and maybe the first level could be run forward, the second level could be run forward with a little bit more complexity. The third level is like bottom to up, you're going vertically with the wrap sides. Fourth level is Unga Bunga or whatever, but you could have like a fifth level type where it's like this is a slower, maybe even single screen type level, maybe even a weird little bonus level if you can't figure out how to connect it into the flow of the actual like levels. Maybe they're just in between single screen bonus levels. So like, there's plenty of ideas, but for the most part, they all would stem from an exploration of the moves and just the themes that you set up. Like what else would a firefighter do? What else could a witch do? What else might be interesting to do even in the context of a relatively simple platformer?
This microphone mute.
I'm just sipping some water anyway.
Are you still streaming the game, or did you finish streaming it?
I'm streaming my face.
I'm so sorry. My internet's being really spotty today.
Oh, well, no big deal. The answer's on the video to your question, if you couldn't hear any of that.
Was it on the stream still?
Yeah, I'm still streaming.
Okay, I can at least hear the answer later.
Yeah, I guess I can. Spot check a few levels. So that technique I was doing with the water hydrant. Did anybody else do that?
This is a very advanced technique. Nope, I don't actually, and definitely no one figured it out their first time through. That's surprising. The final level was actually like, oh, this is not how I expected anyone to go through the final level.
Oh, so it's supposed to be much slower and like and
Right, no, the
scarier?
basic idea is that the smaller fairies are now running away from you, and you're running after them and jumping on their heads, but you spent a lot of time in the air and ahead of them, so it was like, oh, interesting.
Yeah, could I get candy from them?
Yeah, every time you jump on their head, you get quite a bit of candy.
Yeah, I thought so. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm not.
By that time, the queen had shown up, and yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, that there's a character. I wish I could maybe just switch to Smash Brothers to show you. Who doesn't want to switch to Smash Brothers? Let me just do this. I'll stop the Crucius Curse, which was the cause of Colette's condition. And do this, and do game and logo, and which game is this? Game. Full website. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. That's what one of the songs reminds me of. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun. Oh cool, Smash Brothers. So I'm gonna throw this up on the stream. Oh, I was playing Downwell though. Dang, I have to stop playing Downwell. Nope. So there's a character in Smash Brothers called Me Gunner, and I played around with Me Gunner last gen. I'm playing around with Me Gunner this gen, but one of the most unique aerial attacks in the game is this little laser shot. It doesn't go very far, but what's cool about it is, as he builds suspense by not giving the answer too early, installing, it gives you momentum in the direction that you shoot. So unlike
gotcha.
other characters, you can move quite a lot. I'm going to demonstrate it now.
It pulls you towards the direction you shoot.
In the opposite direction.
Opposite direction pushes you away.
Yeah, as you might expect from
Like the kickback.
kickback, yeah. So that's, and you do that by, well, I'll just show you. You'll see it when I jump straight up and down, and then like this, like jump, shoot. I actually backed up a little bit. Jump, shoot. It pushes me back. You can't see it, or you might not see it, but I'm just explaining it.
I can see it.
But here's the cool thing. You can, oops, let me just, it's a little laggy, but that should be fine. So you can full jump and forward air, right? So like full jump, forward air, jump, forward air. Oh, wait, how do I do this? Oh yeah. Full jump, forward air, jump, forward air. So like this. Wait, where is it? Oh, I got it slightly delayed. This laggy monitor, I'm trying to time it based on what I see, but I should just time it based on what I know. Okay, I need to switch monitors. I'm not going to learn that in an instant. Cool. Okay, so jump, shoot, jump, shoot, jump, shoot. I did not back air. That? See how far he goes? That's crazy. That's huge. That's 10 It's almost 20 units from just one double jump. Normally characters can go about 12 units from a double jump, and Migana goes, well, 10 units, and Migana goes almost 20. So that's cool. So right when I was playing Collete with the firefighter, there's something in me that there's probably something behind me. And in Smash Brothers, in order to move forward and attack behind you, you flick the stick, and then you do your attacks like this. In the opposite direction, you'll flip around but still move forward. I did that. And then all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, moving fast. It's just like me gunner. So it's just like tapped into all my natural instincts of how to aim at things while moving backwards. Because
Nice.
real games don't ask a lot of players to platform in a lot of different ways and do different things. But Smash Brothers is one of the most extreme examples of movement and attacking both projectile-based and melee in any 2D game ever. So, so I got a lot of things stored up in my brain that just kick in. Like when Yoshi's Island 2 for the DS, if you get the Donkey Kong, he has this thing where he like quickly monkey punches forward or something weird like that. But if you crouch right after punching, you do this mega slide. And then if you do that on a hill, it's like a super mega slide. And I was like, oh, I found this super wave dash. And I was just trying to abuse it, but there wasn't a lot in the game that let me do it. So it made me sad. But constantly discovering techniques that are similar to things that I've practiced in Smash Brothers.
Nice. Yeah, no, it was satisfying seeing you play around with that, because that was something that I think at least most people didn't really experiment that much, which part of that may be because the game is constantly pushing you forward in Collect Sugar Madness, so it doesn't actually give you a lot of time to experiment.
And it threatens you. I will kill you if you wait too long. I'm like, oh, I'll kill you. Too early.
So I've been wondering if I should add some sort of area or something to the game that gives you a little more time to play around with things, but I'm not sure exactly how that would work.
The trial area, is that just for building high score and spot checking specific levels, or is it for training?
Well, right now, practicing levels and going for high scores.
Okay, so that wouldn't be the best place to have a no time zone.
Right.
Man, this Migana is so fun. That's why this Collette was so fun doing that. You're like, yes, shooting things and moving backwards at rapid rates. That's why I love this movement right here. You're like, yeah. Okay, that's enough Smash. Nah, it's never enough. Shoot Simon in the face. Yeah, There's other little, like, just basic polish things, like when you have a wrapped platform, you don't want to make the wrap on the other side too shallow, where they're trying to move their eyes from the right side of the screen to the left, and all of a sudden their character's falling off the shortened platform. Anything that wraps should be longer than that, basically. And there's little things like you should never... Like, a lot of elements of the arrangement of the platform in the world didn't really reflect... like a consistent world. Like, even though Mario has bricks that are floating in midair, there's like a consistent and simple rule about how they're placed. They're placed to look like formations, and they're placed to look like structures, so that it implies like somebody built this with bricks. There's a lot of platforms that were like really close together, and in Mario games, nothing is ever in a half unit of a half block. Like if you're looking at Smash Brothers here, this training mode has block grid, and Mario made its levels by making everything out of blocks, but there's nothing arranged on a half block ever.
Right.
So then you don't have anything like that in your games. So there's just a lot of times where the platform arrangement just was different, and sometimes it felt a little clustered, and like things like that would generally be cleaned up. Because like you only need a few platforms to actually make it like viable path and fun. And sometimes you had like, I want to say 3, 4 layers, 5 layers of stuff when the bubbles are like bubble, and a platform. You're like, that's a lot.
Right.
And like, I've done some Mario Maker videos where I take people's levels and I kind of Nintendoize them. But there's certain points where I'm like, this formation doesn't express any kind of aesthetically pleasing geometric shape or anything, so I'm going to change it, and I'm going to keep a motif going. One of the levels was a motif of like, he had these coins arranged in like one cluster, two cluster, three in a cluster, four in a cluster, five, and he arranged them like dice, like the dots on a die. But there was a certain point when the pattern got high enough in number that I'm like, you had it arranged in this weird like asymmetrical thing, so I'm gonna offset it like this and try to keep the symmetry, because symmetry is very important when you're building it up like this. And I'm gonna accentuate a diagonal angle instead of doing like a hanging off piece, and just little things like that are part of the aesthetics of building level design. And another level, the guy just like put a bunch of huge Goomba stacked in a huge block. I'm like, you know what's better for Mario games? Things that aren't a huge block, things that are a pyramid, because Mario's Jump is an arc, and arcs are, gloppy looking pyramids. So I knocked out some of the Goomba, and it was a pyramid, and then it was much more fun to like jump, much more possible to leap over, and much more sort of conducive for the gameplay. Just like there's a lot of principles like that you'd either have to discover for yourself or just make some up and try to make it consistent just to see what happens. Yeah. I mean, you could obviously tell there was some stuff going on. There was a lot of consistency between the levels, but it's just as far as like higher and higher levels of polish, that would be something that I would advise. General tutorialization, I felt, was pretty good in the gameplay sense, not so much in the UI sense. So you got a new costume, and I don't know if I overlooked it or whatever, but the first time it was a witch, I didn't see that, the B button or whatever. It was your double jump. And you figured it out by mashing buttons, and I didn't even bother to check the how to play controller mappings. But when I was a pirate, I'm like, what is it? What is it? Clickety-click. Oh, this shoulder button. Weird. But then later I realized that you show the button on the little TV before you get your costume or something. That wasn't as clear to me. It wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't like ceremonious that I got a new costume. It was the first time. I was like, oh, costume. Instead of like, dun, 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 you got a costume, ching, fade away, that kind of a thing.
Yeah, UI design was something I was trying to teach myself as I went along with this game, so that definitely needs. I have some work to do there, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it was working though. The main menu, like a lot of stuff, the points, the end game condition, which was a door or a house. I guess it was always something with a door. The candy that either was stolen out of the world or stolen back, like all that was clear. Point values.
That's good.
I guess I wasn't 100% sure about the relationship between time and points and candy.
Right.
Just little things like that. Like
that's something. Yeah. That's something I think people usually get a little confused about. That I need to figure out a better way to works is. So the timer's going down. At the end of a level, you get an equal amount of, however many seconds are left on the timer, you get that much candy. So the basic idea is the faster you get to the house, the more candy is left at the house. But yeah, I don't think I ever really teach the player that anywhere, so that's something that could definitely use some work.
In the first level, it's like, oh, it's a race, but then like the little kiddos are just going like, they're just doing their own thing. So, what was I going to say? The candy time. Oh, so Yoshi's Island, Nintendo games do a really good job of like, at the end of the level, pause, resolve the character, set the scene, show the points, show more points, circle it, and like, oh, the math was done in front of my face. Yoshi's Island did a great job of that. Most Mario games do a great job of that. You're like, hey, this is my progress. This is what I did. So that's kind of what I would suggest. And there's plenty of different ways to bring attention to the things in really simple ways, just to have sound effects to where it's like if every point thing was associated with a sound effect, it'd be like doodling, doodling, doodling. And you're like, every level you'd be waiting for those 3 chimes. And that would have a sense of like repetition, familiarity, and rhythmically too, it would work really well. So there's a bunch of ideas, and any of them can work. Because it already works, it's just you want it to work more. More!
Right.
Um, I was gonna say the kiddos were an interesting. So like the non-violence of the game was one of its most interesting elements, and by non-violent I mean everything but stealing candies because that's just rude. and you probably should. I'm confused about the fiction. Not sure what was actually going on in the story. Wasn't sure why there was a television. Wasn't sure if the kids were dying. Wasn't sure why they were being set on fire. So many things, but I just rolled with it. So yeah, telling a story can be. I mean, obviously, like all those cutscenes took pixel art, a lot of work. Interesting, funny kind of Wario-like, quirky things happening, but you know, it could take comparably much less work to add just a little bit more clarity to the world / story. I don't even know why my character wanted the candy. Am I a normal girl? I was a witch. So, like, am I eating the candy? Is it justice? I don't even know.
Yeah, I think our idea at the time was that we were okay if people didn't completely get things their first time through. We were hoping people would keep playing through over and over again and catch more things over the time. People haven't actually been coming back to the game very much, so that hasn't actually paid off. Yeah. So I think, yeah, getting a better clarity from the start would be good.
And that would probably be one more element, underrated element that would keep people playing. You do just the right amount of story things, people will stick around for like bad TV shows all the way through if they want to see an ending. So like storytelling is powerful. That's why almost every game on the planet has stories in it, even a little one.
I know. Well, yeah, Collete is. We didn't. Of it is things just sort of go too quickly, but Collete is kind of. She's kind of crazy. So the gameplay is fairly non-violent, but like you said, at the end of the levels, the end of the first level, since she's not in a costume, the person doesn't give her any candy, and so she blows up the house, and then it sort of just goes from there.
No, that's something that should be played up, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
is there a moral or anything to the story, or just a bunch of chaos?
Well, basically, what's happening is we're trying to turn the player into Collete. Colette's kind of crazy and obsessed with just getting all the candy. We kind of just want the player to get into that same mindset of wanting the candy and feeling indignant when the candy gets taken from them.
Yeah, so that's interesting. The background setting of the story can just be like so many familiar and slightly familiar things like neighborhood trick-or-treaters, forest fires, all this stuff, and like it's just not, instead of helping them or helping the kids to like save their lives, just like give me your candy. And that wasn't quite in the game. Like putting the kids out of their fire didn't yield me candy. I just did it because why not spam buttons? And really that was costing me time. But there's more ways to tie in some of those elements, I think, to have a more robust high score system and to make a little bit more sense fictionally. I think a little bit. So the kids is one of the most interesting ideas in the game. How they're non-violent. They didn't really impede your movement at all, but they were this dynamic mid-air platform that you could sacrifice them, and they can fall in holes, and they can get spiked, and you can jump off their heads. Really funny kind of stuff there. But a lot of times there was too many of them, and like
yeah, there are a lot.
There's like a very basic issue that I was telling a French indie designer working on his own DS game mods when he was showing me his what's the game called? Bilo? But he made it to where the enemies kind of walk through each other. I'm like, yeah, you don't want to do that. And he's like, why not? You know, you could kill a lot of enemies at once. It's kind of a technique. I'm like, yeah, I understand there's ways to optimize it if it's already in the game, but in general, the 2D-ness of your game is an abstraction. The world isn't 2D. The characters aren't on a flat world. So if you have things standing like literally inside of each other, on top of each other, that's not an appropriate interpretation of the 3D space, and it's not an appropriate interpretation of the 2D space. So it's better to have things not take up the same space or only briefly take up the same space and kind of push each other out so you can tell like, oh, they were kind of awkwardly standing on top of each other. That's why Goombas and all the Mario enemies almost never take up the same space unless it's a bullet bill and it's flying through the air and it has the ability to pass through the level anyway. So you're like, oh, okay. The bullet bill.
Right.
The interpretation for the bullet bill is it's actually flying around the obstacles and it's homing. So it hits Mario no matter where he is on the plane, because once it gets close, it kind of like swerves in. And as you can see in later Mario games, they actually do that specifically. Bullet bills fly, they see Mario, they start homing in. It's the same exact concept, but you got to realize when your system limitations will shape the abstractions will shape your interpretation and force your hand in certain ways, which is a good thing, you know.
Yeah, in this one, I think so you run through the enemies. In Collect Sugar Madness, most of the enemies run into each other, except for like the, we call it the Candy Fairy, the Ooga Booga. It runs through, that way it can keep chasing you.
Yeah,
and then I think the fires guys, I'm trying to remember, I think the fire guys may bounce off of each other, but they run through everything else. As you jump on, they run through, that way they can keep running away from you.
Yeah, all just about fine-tuning and just finding a level that's right for your game and for you. I think when you think about the fiction more concretely, like I would advise you to write the children's book of the game. Even if you don't like fully illustrate it or whatever, write it as if it's a children's book. Children's books are great for telling stories, doing it in a digestible step-by-step way, so it doesn't take too much of the player's brain power to keep track of it over the course of however long it takes to beat that game. Each one has a picture, and if you find that you can't tell your story to a kid, it's probably too complicated, especially considering the aesthetic here and I'm assuming target audience is skewed younger.
Yeah, that was one of my main problems with this game as well, is I was just sort of doing things and didn't completely know who my target audience was.
Happens to me all the time.
Sounds familiar to me too.
But I was trying to get it a little more accessible for non-platformer fans, just because my wife isn't into a lot of 2D platformers, and she wanted to be able to enjoy it too.
Well, on that note, your game is harder than a lot of platformers.
Yeah, no, I tended to go. I may have overdone it in a few instances.
Yeah, it's another classic mistake. But I mean, those last levels, I don't know. There was a mix between being super intense and I was just also going crazy. So for me, it was fine. I have a lot of platforming experience to know like how to track my character off the top of the screen, how to check my momentum, how to glance around the screen, how to check for pits, like all these things I just do naturally. That was probably too much, too much for most people. Especially if you want to have a hard mode, you probably should do a much easier version of that game for normal, and then do something more like what you have for the hard mode, and not have it determined by like continues and stuff like that. It doesn't really matter. Continues, like if players can go to the trial mode and play spot check levels and build their leaderboard score off of that, then the continues thing is a big just distraction. And it's not like you get a multiplier for doing everything all in one life, which, by the way, don't do that. Keep your levels independent. Keep the effort as one-to-one with the effort of collecting candy as possible, because multipliers really just skew things. I don't like them personally when you throw too many of them in your point system.
Right. Yeah, I usually get a little confused when there's a complicated enough. Yeah. Lots of good things to think about. Thank you.
It's fun. Yeah, your game's also fast. A lot of the movement of things and the size of the things on the screen and how much look ahead you have and how dynamic some of the things are. You know, it's a good speed for veterans. If you ever decide to make an easier mode or a mobile mode, the whole game speed would have to drop. And not that you were thinking about it, but I'm just thinking, like, how would you adapt this to mobile controls? Well, that's probably a thought experiment we can talk about in the Discord over time. Cool. I'm going to stop the stream now.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
No problem. Bye, stream.
Bye, Richard.